Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel My Entertainment. In today's video, we are going to understand one of the most important concepts in generative AI, which is RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, yes, the name sounds little technical, but once you understand the idea behind it, it's actually very simple. Okay, and honestly, nowadays many companies are hiring students who know concepts like this. Okay, example RAG, vector databases, embeddings, chunkings, and AI applications. Because almost every company now wants to build AI chatbots and AI assistants using their own data. So, this is definitely an important topic if you are learning AI or preparing for future opportunities. Okay, and in this video, I will explain everything in a super simple way with examples. So, even if you are a complete beginner, you will easily understand it. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let's start. Okay, so first of all, what actually RAG is? RAG is nothing but, and RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, now don't get scared by this big name. The concept is actually very simple. See, normally when we ask something to ChatGPT, not only ChatGPT, any AI assistants, it gives answers from whatever data it was trained on. Okay, but what if the information is not present in its training data, like company related documents, private confidential PDFs, HR policies, internal notes, everything, right? How will the model know all that if we ask for something else? That's exactly where RAG comes in. RAG basically does one thing. Before generating answer, before generating accurate answer, it first searches for relevant information. Okay, it searches for relevant information and then gives the final response. That's it. That is called RAG. So instead of answering only from memory, it first retrieves useful information. Okay, and then it generates the answers. That's why it is called retrieval augmented generation. Understand? And now we know what RAG means, right? I hope you understand what is RAG. But now the real question is, why do we even need this? See, normally when we ask something to ChatGPT, it answers from its training data, and most of the time it works really well, right? But there is a small problem here. Sometimes the information may be outdated, right? It is not up to date. It is outdated. It is not up to date. And sometimes the model doesn't know private company data. And sometimes uh, it hallucinates. Now, uh, here what is hallucination? Hallucination is nothing but it gives, it means AI gives wrong answers confidently. If you don't know something, uh, just you will tell whatever you knows, right? And it will imagine something and gives you as a response. So that is what here called hallucination. And this becomes a serious problem in real world applications. Let me give one example. Suppose, what is the leave policy in your company? Now, obviously, ChatGPT doesn't know your company rules, right? So, because your company data was never part of its training, so what should we do? Should we retrain the old model every time? Not really, right? So, because retraining LLMs is very expensive and time consuming and requires huge resources. So, instead of retraining the entire model, what if the AI could simply search relevant company documents before answering? Is that a good idea? Right? That exact idea is what RAG solves. So remember this one important line: RAG helps LLMs. RAG helps LLMs. RAG helps LLMs answer from your own data without retraining the model. So this is the main purpose of RAG. Okay. Now conceptually this sounds very nice, right? But how does this actually work internally? Let's understand the complete flow step by step. Okay. RAG mainly has two parts. One is data ingestion pipeline. Data ingestion pipeline and retrieval pipeline. Okay, it has two parts: data ingestion pipeline and retrieval pipeline. So, first, let us understand the data ingestion pipeline. What is DIP? DIP is nothing but basically this is where we prepare all our data before users even start asking questions. Now, first we upload the data. This data can be anything, okay, like PDF, any file, HTML files, okay, and Excel files, okay, anything, any file, text documents, anything. Now, obviously, before AI uses documents, it first needs to read them properly, right? And that process is called parsing. We called it as parsing. Extracting text from documents. Like, for example, if you upload a PDF, if you upload a PDF, the system first extracts all the text content in uh, present in the PDF. Okay, and now once the text is extracted, can we directly send huge PDFs to the LLMs? No, right? And this is where chunking comes into picture. Okay, chunking means dividing. Large documents are divided into smaller chunks. Means dividing large text into smaller pieces. Okay, smaller chunks. For example, think like this. Suppose you have a huge 500-page textbook, and instead of reading the whole book every single time, you divide it into short notes, chapter by chapter, like chapter 1, chapter 2, and then it combines to a large book, right? So, the dividing of book into smaller parts is called chunking. Okay, that's exactly what chunking does. And chunking is very important because it improves retrieval accuracy. That means retrieval becomes faster and more accurate, and context handling. Okay, otherwise, sending huge documents directly becomes expensive, which is, and the process is also very slow. Okay, this looks little bit clumsy, but I hope you understand this. If you have any queries regarding this, please comment down, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nilima Entertainment for more videos. Okay, great. Now we divide the text into smaller chunks. But now another question comes. How does AI actually understand these chunks? Yeah, that is a valid point, right? But and this is where one of the most important comes in, that is called embeddings. Okay, I hope you understand chunking process by seeing this image. If you have a large PDF document, is divided into parts, smaller parts, that is called chunking process. Multiple chunks. Okay, and coming to the embeddings. Embeddings are basically numerical representations of text. Okay, because computers understand numbers better than words, right? So every chunk uh, is converted into a vector. And here, here is the interesting part. Words with similar meanings will have similar vector representations. Okay, like for example, um, you have dog and puppy. Both are semantically similar, right? So their embeddings will also stay closer. Okay, and this helps AI understand meaning instead of just matching keywords. And the cat is little bit similar. I mean, it is also comes under pet, and the car, which is unrelated. So words with similar meanings stay closer in vector space. That is what embedding concept says. Okay, and now once these embeddings are created, we obviously need some place to store them, right? And that is where vector database comes in. And The main job of a vector database is similarity search. And this is where the actual magic starts happening. Suppose now a user asks what is the leave policy, and now this user query is also converted into embeddings. Okay, embeddings. Then the vector database compares similarity search. Okay, vector database compares similarity between vectors. Basically, it checks which chunks are most similar to this query, and then it retrieves the most relevant chunks. This process is called retrieval, which we can also call this as uh, fast semantic retrieval. So now the system has relevant information, and these retrieved chunks are sent to the LLM. Okay, along with the user prompt. So now the system has relevant information, and these retrieved context are sent to the LLM along with the user query, user prompt. Okay, so now instead of answering blindly, the model has actual context before generating the answer. And because the model now has relevant context, the response becomes more accurate, right? And this is the complete intuition behind RAG. Like, for example, think about it like an open book exam. Without RAG, students answers only from memory. With RAG, student first opens the textbook, finds correct page, and then answers accurately. Right? The textbook searching part is called retrieval, and writing the final answer is called generation. Together, we call retrieval plus generation equal to RAG. And honestly, this is exactly why RAG became so important in AI industry. Nowadays, companies are building AI search systems and customer support agents, enterprise assistants, document analysis systems, and most of these applications use RAG internally. That's why skills like RAG, LangChain, vector database, embeddings are becoming extremely valuable for students and developers. So, if you are learning AI in 2026 and beyond, RAG is definitely something you should know. So, yeah, once you understand this complete flow, RAG actually becomes very easy. So just remember this simple flow. First, retrieve relevant information, retrieve, retrieve relevant information, and then generating the answers. Okay, that's it. Simple flow. That is called RAG. I hope this video helped you understand the intuition behind RAG clearly. If you enjoyed watching this video, then make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. And if you still have any doubts and want more AI related videos, let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching.